So you've heard the old adage, right? Preach the gospel always. What was it? Some church father who said that? Or is that alleged? Okay, yeah, so preach the gospel always. Use words if necessary or when necessary, right? And of course I don't like that, right? I don't like that because the scriptures are very clear that we have to both preach the gospels with, you're not, guys, I'm sorry, you're not going to get out of actually saying something. You have to say it. You have to use your words to preach, to say the story, to say the news, to speak out the royal announcement. And God will use that to spiritually impact and change people's hearts and lives and draw them unto himself. And when mixed with belief, they are saved. You can't get out of actually saying the words. We know this from Romans, right? Because Paul says very clearly, how will they call on him whom they've not believed? Romans 10, right? How are they going to believe if they never heard? How are they going to hear without someone preaching? How are they going to preach unless they're sent? And then he quotes Isaiah, how beautiful are the feet of those who preach the good news, right? So it's very clear, how will they call on him if they don't believe? And how will they believe if they haven't heard? And how they're not going to hear unless you say something? This is hard. This is hard because it's very comfortable to just only try to live a Christian life, right? And get people to see it. But it's not going to be enough. And we know that's not enough from, I'll tell you a story of a man who became Christian during this evangelical like tent revival thing that was going on in England. And he said he went to tell his boss about it afterwards that he's a Christian now. And he was just ecstatic and wanted to, he had a life-changing event. And the boss was like, that's great. I'm a Christian. And I've been praying for you for years. And the guy was like, what the heck? Why didn't you tell me? Why did you say anything? You're a Christian. And the guy was like, well, what do you mean? Why are you mad at me? I thought this would be fine. And the guy said, no, you're precisely the reason I hadn't become a Christian any sooner, because I specifically was thinking about your life and the way you lived and your deeds and your joy and just everything about you, that if you could live such a happy and an awesome life without any appearance of being a Christian at all, why do I need any of this? You can't just live the life as the example without also using the words to point people to what it means.